One of the most widely used agrochemicals in the world may have an effect that goes beyond simple toxicity. It may disrupt the delicate community of bacteria in your gut. The very community we've shown is central to inflammation and pain. This is a topic with real mechanisms and real scientific debate, so let me walk you through it carefully and honestly. I'm Dr. Padda. We continue our exposome sub-series with glyphosate, the active ingredient in many widely used herbicides. I want to explore a proposed mechanism connecting it to gut health and inflammation while being clear and honest about which parts are established and which remain debated. You deserve both the idea and the caveats. Here's the context. Glyphosate is extraordinarily widely used in modern agriculture, which means residues can be present in the food supply and human exposure is common. It is the cornerstone of the industrial medical food complex we often discuss. Now, the conventional view has long been that glyphosate is relatively safe for humans because it targets a biochemical pathway, the shikimate pathway that human cells don't possess. This has been the primary shield for its widespread adoption. But here's the wrinkle that's drawn scientific attention. While your human cells don't use the shikimate pathway, many of the bacteria in your gut do. And that opens up a proposed mechanism that has nothing to do with poisoning your own cells directly. It targets your biological soil. Here's the proposed mechanism. Because many gut bacteria rely on the shikimate pathway that glyphosate inhibits, the concern is that exposure could selectively affect the balance of your gut microbiome, promoting dysbiosis, the imbalance we covered earlier in this masterclass. And remember the cascade from that gut episode. Dysbiosis contributes to increased intestinal permeability, or leaky gut, permitting endotoxemia, the leakage of bacterial components like LPS into the bloodstream, driving systemic inflammation that directly sensitizes your peripheral nerves. Pain is not a diagnosis, it is a signal. This is what makes the topic both interesting and tricky. The proposed harm is indirect, routed through the microbiome rather than through direct cellular toxicity. That's a more subtle kind of claim, and subtle claims require careful forensic evidence. The gut inflammation pain cascade at the end of the chain is well established. The debated link is the first step. How much real-world glyphosate exposure actually disrupts the human gut microbiome in ways that matter clinically? That's the part that's genuinely under investigation and dispute. So let me be honest and precise about the evidence. What's well established? The downstream pathway is real. What is genuinely debated? The specific claim that real-world glyphosate exposure meaningfully disrupts the human microbiome and drives disease. Some prominent hypotheses in this space have drawn significant criticism. I present this as a plausible, worth-watching area of concern, not as established fact. Reducing unnecessary chemical exposure in your food is a reasonable, low-risk choice, regardless of how this particular debate resolves. I'd rather give you an honest, we don't fully know yet, than false certainty. So if you felt a pull toward cleaner food but worried you were being paranoid, here's a balanced reframe. Wanting to reduce unnecessary chemical exposure is a reasonable instinct. The truth lives in the middle. Reasonable caution, grounded in real mechanisms without overblown certainty. At the Padda Institute, we focus on what we know works, supporting a healthy gut microbiome and intestinal barrier through diet. This makes your system more resilient regardless of exposures. We fix the terrain. We address the gut inflammation pain cascade directly and comprehensively. A healthy gut makes you resilient, and reasonable caution about your food is sound. If gut-driven inflammation is part of your pain, that's something we can address directly. Go to painmd.tv and take the first step. I'm Dr. Padda, honest, grounded, and focused on what actually helps.